Hello, everyone. So 66% of you say that the skincare that you use was overpromised and it doesn't work like the vendor said it was going to work. And it is incredibly frustrating. So what can you do about this? So who better to answer this question than Ben Fuchs, creator of Truth Treatment Skincare. Also, he's a cosmetic chemist, a compounding pharmacist, and a nutritionist. Thank you so much for joining me, Ben.
Thank you. I appreciate having you, and you look beautiful as always, Suzanne.
Oh, thank you, Ben. So overpromising on skincare is rampant. It is
Yes.
huge. What is the truth about this situation?
We don't understand our skin. So we're so desperate. We just buy whatever somebody tells us. We're always scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or looking through Cosmo or trying to find the latest and greatest. But here's the thing, Suzanne, you don't need a lot of different things on the skin. There's just some basics that you need. I think there's three critical ingredients, and that's it really. There's a few ancillary ingredients that can be helpful, but there's three critical ingredients that everybody needs for their skin. Number one, vitamin C, but it's not that easy because
so break it down, because there's a million. I mean,
there's different forms of vitamin C. And because we don't understand really vitamin C or chemistry or our skin, we get hoodwinked and we get the cheap stuff. We get the stuff that doesn't work. Okay. So just because you need vitamin C doesn't mean you can put any vitamin C on your skin. You need to have a form of vitamin C that is stable, that doesn't break down, and a form that penetrates through the surface of the skin and gives you the benefits. Real quick, and I know you know this, probably estheticians out there know this as well, the skin is stratified, it's layered. The good stuff is in the bottom. That's where the cells are. The top of the skin is dead. You can't do anything to the top of the skin unless you're using the top of the skin to communicate to the bottom. And that's where exfoliation comes in. We'll talk about that here in a second. But in order to get vitamin C to where it needs to be, you got to get it to the lower levels of the skin. That requires fatty vitamin C, fat solubility. Lipophilicity is how we say it in the world of chemistry, fat loving. So you need a form of vitamin C that is fatty, and there's not a lot of them. There's only one that really stands out, and that's called THDA. You probably heard of this, tetrahexyl decylascorbate, or THDA. You need to have vitamin C, but it can't be the cheap stuff. And most skincare companies use the cheap stuff, and they don't tell you the difference, and they'll do a song and dance about the studies they did and the clinical things they did, but it doesn't matter, because if it's ascorbic acid, which is the cheap stuff, it's not going to penetrate. You need the THDA. Okay, so that's fat-soluble vitamin C, number one. Fat-soluble vitamin C acts to stimulate the production of our favorite protein, which is collagen. Turns on the production of collagen. It strengthens and it protects the moisture factors in the skin. It protects the skin cells as they're rising up from the bottom to the top. And it has anti-aging and sun protection benefits for the surface of the skin. It's even a skin lightener on the surface of the skin. But it has to be fatty. And not only that, it has to be in a generous enough concentrations. A lot of times skincare companies will put an ingredient that everybody knows about, but they'll put a speck of it in. They won't use enough of it to make a difference. For example, when I'm formulating my Truth Transdermal C serum, it's almost 80%, nearly 80%, nearly 4/5 of a drop is fat-soluble vitamin C, not the cheap stuff, the good stuff.
How can people tell? Like, how can they tell? I can't tell you the amount of people coaching that I do, and I tell people, okay, read it. Now read it to me. And they'll go, okay, water, and then they'll go through all the ingredients, and I'm like, where is it? Like, go all the. So explain this to people.
You got to be an ingredient deck reader. And one of the most important things to understand about an ingredient deck is the ingredients are listed in descending concentrations. So your highest concentration is the first or second ingredient. So if the first ingredient is water and the second ingredient is propylene glycol or glycerin, you got 80 or 90% of a product. There's nothing there. There's nothing in there for you. And this is how most skincare is done. And this is why there's so many skincare companies out there, is because the bar is so low on a product, because we as consumers aren't sophisticated. A lot of us aren't sophisticated enough to understand that just because you put something on your skin doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get benefits. This is why people are frustrated. So look for THDA, number one, fat-soluble vitamin C, towards the front of the ingredient deck, preferably the first or second ingredient, or ask the company, is there what the concentration is. As I say, our Truth Transdermal C serum is almost 80% fat-soluble vitamin C. Our Truth Transdermal C balm is almost 60% vitamin C. The second ingredient I'm going to tell you about is retinol, and retinol is very similar to vitamin C in the sense that you need to have enough of it. And retinol is a little bit tricky because retinol is very stimulating for the skin. It's important for the skin, but it's very stimulating. So the retinol, you got to be a little bit careful. Retinol is a hormone, but it's a vitamin that acts like a hormone, and it has activating effects. It turns things on. It turns on the production of collagen, much like vitamin C. It turns on the production of collagen. It turns on the production of high hyaluronic acid. It turns on the production of skin lipids, that is skin fats. So it has, in the long run, moisturizing qualities, and it can help us exfoliate the dead cells off of the surface. So it can leave the skin nice and soft and smooth. And it has an ability to create something called neovascularization, which is a sort of rosiness to the skin. It creates great color to the skin, the color that's associated with health. Were you going to say something?
Yeah. So I've had a few people say, hey, I tried retinol, but I had such a bad reaction.
Yes.
That I can't use it. I'm sensitive, and then I always have to kind of say, maybe not. So can you explain that? Yeah.
Yes. Let me explain that. If your skin barrier is not robust and healthy and barrier-like, if you have toxicity in your bloodstream, for example, if your skin cells are not growing as fast as they should, if those, I should say, the toxicity in the bloodstream will ultimately get dumped off in the skin. If you have immune reactions in the skin, you don't have your skin cells growing as they should, your barrier will be weak. If the barrier is weak, the nerves will be stimulated and you will feel uncomfortable when you put something stimulating on top of the skin. The nerves will be activated. So you've got to calm the skin down and you've got to make sure your barrier is strong and robust. One of the best ingredients for creating a robust, strong skin barrier is supplements. This is essential fatty acids. And probably along with essential fatty acids is niacin, vitamin B3. In fact, niacin deficiency and essential fatty acid deficiency alone will make the skin more sensitive. And then if you're not supplementing, you're probably going to be niacin deficient. And if you're not supplementing, you're probably going to be essential fatty acid deficient. So a lot of people are suffering from nutritional deficiencies that are showing up on their skin as sensitivities. And by the way, one of the effects of a weakened skin barrier, in addition to skin sensitivities, get this, is hyperpigmentation. Melasma is associated with a defective barrier. So many of our skin problems, ranging from sensitive skin, inability to use retinol, to hyperpigmentation, are linked to a defective skin barrier, have an impact on skin aging, accelerate the aging response. So you got to make sure your barrier is strong enough to use retinol. Now, retinol, ironically, over the long haul, will also strengthen the skin barrier. You just have to be able to get to the point where you can use it. So using it over time will strengthen the skin barrier, but to get to the point where you can use it, if you have a problem using it, start supplementing with essential fatty acids and niacin, and regard your sensitivities as issues with deficiencies, perhaps, in essential fatty acids and niacin. So the second important ingredient, along with vitamin C, is retinol. Very stimulating, exfoliating, creates a nice rosy appearance to the skin. In the long run, it will also strengthen the skin barrier, stimulate skin lipids, which will also have a barrier, improve the health of the barrier, and also have a skin moisturizing effect in the long run. The third important ingredient to go with vitamin C and retinol is alpha hydroxy acids. Now, you can also use beta hydroxy acid, which is salicylic acid. Alpha hydroxy acids tend to be a little more gentle. Salicylic acid is a little more aggressive. They're all good. Alpha hydroxy acids come in various forms. The most common, of course, is glycolic acid. There's also lactic acid. I like working with an alpha hydroxy acid called mandelic acid, which has some really interesting properties. It's a big molecule, so it sits on the surface of the skin. It's great for people who have more sensitive skin types. The beautiful thing about alpha hydroxy acids is, in addition to exfoliating, and by exfoliating, I mean they stimulate the shedding of cells off of the skin surface. In addition to exfoliating, they also drop the skin pH. The skin has a pH, an acid level that's slightly acidic, and as we get older and as our skin becomes less healthy, it tends to go up. The pH tends to go up. Alpha hydroxy acids drop the skin pH, and so they create a healthier acid level on the surface of the skin. Acidity on the surface of the skin is associated with healthier skin. By the way, you can also eat certain foods that can improve the acid level of the skin. And of course, my favorite skin food and my favorite nutritional food is eggs. And eggs help
with alpha hydroxy acids?
Eggs help with acid level on the skin.
Acid pH level.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
yes.
Interesting.
Oh,
that's
that
wonderful.
Interesting? Also, beans can do it. Also, beans can have an acid, legumes can have an acid lowering, a pH lowering effect, an acidifying effect on the skin. That's because eggs and legumes, also soy and grains have something in them called phospholipids. I don't know if you heard that term, phospholipids.
Phospholipids.
Phospholipids, and the acid level of the skin is at least partially dependent on these phospholipids. So you can eat to improve acid levels in addition to using alpha hydroxy acids. This exfoliating effect on the skin creates two skin responses. Number one, it softens and smooths the surface of the skin, helps get rid of pigment, blotchiness, but it also, this is really cool, it also sends signals down to the lower levels where the fibroblasts, those collagen-making cells are, and the keratinocytes are, to get them going, to get them moving. It's like I call it, using alpha hydroxy acids, taking your skin to the gym. Because when you use alpha hydroxy acids, you're turning on your skin cells and turning on your fibroblasts. And you want to use your alpha hydroxy acids before you use your retinol and your vitamin C. Why? Because after you've exfoliated the skin, you get deeper penetration of the vitamin C and the retinol. Remember, we're not interested in surface effects. We want to get down to the bottom if we're interested in anti-aging. And after you exfoliate the skin with your alpha hydroxy acids is a perfect time to do your nutrients. It's kind of like an analogy or analogous to going to the gym. When's the best time to do your nutritional supplements? When you come home from the gym. When's the best time to do your your vitamin C and your fat-soluble vitamin C and your retinol? After you've exfoliated. And I love formulating with those three ingredients. Our Truth AHA Energizing Exfoliator, low pH. It's got a whole blend of alpha hydroxy acids. And of course, we have multiple retinol products. When I formulate a retinol product, by the way, I'm always including fat-soluble vitamin C. So our Truth Retinol Gel, 25% vitamin C. You get 5% retinol or 1% retinol with 25% vitamin C. That's really an incredible amount of vitamin C. Truth Transdermal C Serum and, of course, Truth Transdermal C Balm are also loaded with fat-soluble vitamin C. And our Omega-6 Healing Cream is also packed with fat-soluble vitamin C of a slightly different form. So those are the three most important ingredients for healthy, beautiful skin. Fat-soluble vitamin C, retinol, alpha hydroxy acids. There are some ancillary satellite ingredients that can be helpful. Niacin is one of the best. In fact, niacin is like a close fourth in the three most important topical ingredients.
Those are active ingredients. That's what actually does the good.
Yes, it really does. It really does. It has a depigmentizing effect. It has a barrier supporting effect. It has a sun protection effect. Really, really a wonderful, wonderful fourth important ingredient. Not quite as important as retinol and vitamin C and alpha hydroxy acids, but it's pretty darn close. And then there are some non-nutritional ingredients that have some benefits. High hyaluronic acid, of course, everybody is really hip to high hyaluronic acid these days. You're not going to get a lot of long-term effects with high hyaluronic acid, but you'll get some nice surface effects with high hyaluronic acid. There's another molecule that I use a lot called glycogen, which is an energy source for skin cells, but you do need to have like an exfoliating product or ingredient first on the skin before you use your glycogen. I use glycogen in our Truth AHA Energizing Exfoliator. And of course, this is not as important as the vitamin C and vitamin A and the AHAs, but minerals.
Yes.
But not just any minerals, plant-derived minerals, ionic minerals that can really penetrate through the skin surface to activate skin cells. We use plant-derived minerals in a lot of our different Truth Skin Health products, our biomimetic mineral mist and our HA Energizing Exfoliator. I like using mineral solutions as a base to add active ingredients into, and you get the benefits of the active ingredients and you get the benefits of the mineral solutions.
You know, Ben, this has been great. I really appreciate this. And maybe in another video, we can do something more on the minerals, because I think the minerals are just such an important aspect that our diet is so depleted in.
Yes.
It shows up on our skin. What I love about everything you've said is it's simple. There's three. You can use them. Here's the supplements you need to take. So what you have just said is super duper helpful. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ben, for everything you've shared.
Suzanne. Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining the Beauty Shaman and Ben Fuchs today, talking about skincare. Have a great day.